Hello, folks. So I'm going back to InDesign. One of the features, as you may have remembered, is that basically anything that is within InDesign and graphics that are placed in there are not held in there. They're not embedded. They're not. They can't. If you save the file, it doesn't come with it. All the graphics are stored outside of the file, the InDesign file. So one of the features that InDesign has in it is basically a way of actually allowing you to collect everything. Now, if you're a beginning designer, most beginning designers, what they do is they're not very organized. What they do is they tend to have graphics and photos and everything else that they use within InDesign all over their computer in certain areas and certain like folders and everything else. And one of the things that you have to do is if you have to package it up for a particular printing facility or the client themselves to deal with it themselves, you have to be able to give them everything, including the fonts. So one of the things that you can do here is that InDesign does have this feature which allows you to go ahead and have InDesign help you with everything. Because nothing's worse than trying to figure out, okay, well, I have all these like graphics and all these fonts and stuff, and I need to go and find them and collect them and do all that kind of stuff with them. To have to tediously do that, even if you were working on a 120-page catalog. Imagine that, be anywhere from 600 to 700 photos in there, or graphics, or whatever, and that can be rather tedious and difficult to do. So, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have, I have this document that I went ahead and laid out, and let's say the client has approved it, and it is ready for packaging up and ready to get collected to go to the printing facility. So, if I go up to, first of all, save it. You must make sure you save it. I did save it here, that's why it is in light gray. But what I want to do is I want to go up to File, and I want to go all the way down to the bottom where it says Package. If I choose Package, it launches this particular screen, which allows me to go ahead and see a summary of everything that's within it, including the fonts that are used, the links and images that are used, the colors and inks, print settings, and the external plugins, if there is any. And yes, InDesign does have plugins that it does use on occasion. They either have to be purchased or downloaded in order to actually use them, but I don't really use any of them. So I'm going to go up to fonts and images and links. And one of the things that basically is flagging here is that there actually is these yellow triangles. That means currently there is something wrong with the particular font. And in this case, this was not labeled as incomplete for that particular font. But there are some problems with my fonts here that I have to address. So, links and images, what we have here in this case, we do have a yellow triangle. And one of the things that is labeled is it says that it's to use RGB color space. And as we may have talked before, in RGB, basically anything that has to deal with color or in print wise, the color space needs to be CMYK. That is a printing color mode. And in this case, it's RGB, which is great for digital layout, such as phones, computer monitors, all that kind of stuff. TVs, all those kind of electronic devices. But since this is a print item, we want to make sure that that is CMYK. Now, in the case of here, I'm just going to allow it to happen, but technically I would probably go and change that to CMYK in Photoshop or wherever I gotten the photo from. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Package. Now, what that starts out, it looks like for where I want to drop the package file, I'm going to drop it in on the desktop for here. I'm going to label it 2 because I already have a folder here that I set up. And I'm going to go ahead and open. And let's say by using this package feature, it includes fonts. You acknowledge that you have all necessary rights and licenses to allow copying and distributing the fonts. Used by your service provider may comply with the terms of your font license. Your service provider may require a separate license, basically allowing you to say, hey, you know what, you're using copyrighted type fonts, and you're doing this, you're allowing it to happen, but no, that is what's happening here. So go ahead and hit OK, and what that did was it went ahead and launched, and looked at a packaged a folder here, which went ahead, and what it did is if the fonts were complete, it would have actually added in a folder that said document fonts. Right here it says links, and it gives you an InDesign markup document, which basically is allowing you to create a file or open it up in an older version of InDesign. It allows you to kind of like have the actual InDesign file here, and then you got the PDF file as well. Now if I go into links, you'll see that both files have been linked and have been incorporated into the document. So, alright, so hopefully that helps out a little bit, because then you could possibly take all that package file, send it to your client for them to utilize, or send it to a printing facility for them to utilize as well. Alright, so I'll end it right there, and till you see you in the next video.